To 3-minute Q&A period for each of the members that are remaining. Again, I know there are a lot of folks in here who wanted to share their thoughts and ask you questions. We'll have to do this again. Mr. Grothman from Wisconsin.
I guess we are a divided country. I heard some of the comments from the other side of the aisle. I don't know if they show up, some of the people I hang around, whether they say signs of America's greatness or its universities and its COVID response. I'll tell you, there's a whole nother world out there that does not feel that our universities are right now what they should be. And I think the COVID response is good. And as far as helping the middle class, I think the difficulty in buying a house or buying a car today are about the toughest I can remember in my lifetime. It really threatens the middle class. But I'll ask a question to him. We'll talk to Mr. Portman. When I look at the problems we have, first of all, I agree with Mr. Yarmouth. On Social Security, we should begin to look at the general fund. I kind of look at the budget as a whole. As far as the people saying, I think Social Security is the one thing we can't cut because we've made certain promises to the American people. I know there's some politicians who like to brag, look at me, I'm so tough, I'm going to cut Social Security. I think it's the one thing we can't cut. What I'm going to ask you, whether in your experience here, people have all talked about getting back to our Constitution. And I realize it might be a relatively small overall percent of our budget, some of the programs, but when I look at all the people around here who think it's the federal government's to deal with housing or the federal government's responsibility to deal with education or income transfer payments or commerce, it just drives me up a wall because, of course, our forefathers never would have guessed to this degree we get involved in these things. In any of the things that you've been involved with, have you looked what the deficit would be if we just transferred all this stuff back to the states and said, look at constituents, these may be good programs, they may not be, but we are broke, and you should talk to your state legislature about them and see where we'd wind up if we took all these programs and just said, here, states, you decide whether you want to raise the revenue for them.
Well, first, thanks for your good question. You saw in my testimony, I talked about looking at the role of the federal government, and that's for the reason you just stated. It's grown dramatically, as you know, over time, and to the point that our spending as a country has gone from when I last testified before this committee, which was about 16 years ago, to today. We're spending $2.6 trillion then. We're spending about $6.3 trillion now.
Hello, friends. I have shocking news to share with you today. Washington lawmakers are now saying that Social Security's cost of living adjustments are too small. Some Democrats and Republicans are working together to create a plan that would increase monthly benefits and fix the program's funding. My dearest friends, I'll be going over what you need to know, so please make sure that you watch until the end of this video, especially if you are a senior or a retiree. Also, tomorrow, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. It's no secret that Social Security is fraught with problems. One consequential issue is the annual cost of living adjustment. While Social Security recipients receive an annual COLA, which is meant to protect the buying power of benefits from inflation, many politicians and policy experts believe those COLAs tend to be too small. The Senior Citizens League has estimated that Social Security benefits have lost about 36% of their buying power since the year 2000, and a recent survey suggests that 80% of retired workers think Congress should do more to protect benefit payments from inflation. But earlier this year, a group of Washington lawmakers introduced a bill that may resolve the problem by changing the way that COLAs are calculated. Under the current law, Social Security COLAs are calculated based on the year-over-year change in the third quarter reading for the CPIW. This metric tracks spending patterns among working age individuals, specifically by tracking spending habits among workers. The CPIW is naturally skewed towards younger people, but Social Security recipients tend to be older retirees, and they spend more money differently than working age individuals. The prevailing consensus is that the CPIW underestimates inflation which are faced by seniors by about 0.2 percentage points every year. And that is why many Washington lawmakers think that COLAs should be tied to the Consumer Price Index for the elderly. It is a measure of inflation that tracks spending patterns among people aged 62 or older. The CPIE also places more emphasis on the purchase categories, which are most relevant to seniors, like Medicare and housing. To address that issue, Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, along with Representative Jen Schakowsky and Val Hoyle, introduced the Social Security Expansion Act earlier this year. The legislation proposes several revisions to the Social Security program. This is including modified COLA calculation that would replace the CPIW with the CPIE starting in 2026. Nearly 36 Democratic congressmen and congresswomen have signed onto the bill as co-sponsors. The Social Security Expansion Act will face difficulty to win congressional approval in its current form, but the bill could eventually pass in a different form, or a different piece of legislation may replace the CPIW with the CPIE in the future. Either way, it is worth exploring how Social Security benefits might change if that happens. Social Security benefits will receive a 3.2% COLA in 2024. It is a much smaller increase than the 8.7% COLA that beneficiaries received this year. However, Social Security benefits would have increased 4.0% in 2024 if the COLA had been calculated using the CPIE instead of the CPIW. The difference is not enormous, but a few $100s could be meaningful in certain situations. So, dear friends, should CPIEs be used to determine COLAs? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Also, millions of Social Security retirees will receive the final round of October's retirement payments, which are worth up to $4,555 for those who retired at the age of 70 in less than a week. The third and last Social Security payment will be given to recipients on October 25th, and it will be for those born on or after the 21st. Eligible beneficiaries will also receive November's supplemental security income payments in just 2 weeks, and the payments will be worth up to $914 for individual filers. The deposit dates will be Wednesday, November 1st, and it will be the first supplemental security income payment since the end of September. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dearest friends, thank you very much for being part of this community. To say thank you, I will be announcing several winners tomorrow for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you need to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.